The stage is set, the teams are selected, and the tracks are ready for a brand new tournament, QxQ. Hello everyone, I am the first Q in that equation, Quack, and I'm excited to present the second one, Quadrilla. This is the Quadrilla balancing the first event of this brand new tournament, and you'll see how it works here. You want to get as far down the beam as possible, similar to most balancings, but unlike in the main QMC tournament, there is an extra bonus for getting a finisher. But we'll be diving straight in with the Snow Skaters, formerly a QMC team. Now they are competing in this brand new tournament, and they will be starting us off. The only team here with a little bit of experience, well, except for one, but in the meantime, they're getting right toward the middle of the beam. I don't think any of them got past the 6 there, the 6 being that second green block, and I don't know how that's going to shape up compared to the rest of the runs. That was a 20 there, and of course that will still be decent for the Snow Skaters, and honestly, especially considering their QMC tenure, not too shabby. But now we move on to Mach 5, the first of the new teams here. There are 14 brand new teams, and we'll see how Mach 5 can compare with the Snow Skaters, if that inexperience will hurt them. And right now, that doesn't look like they're getting too close to the end. One of them gets into the finisher bin, the other one not quite able to do so. They will still get an 8, though, and I think this will definitely be able to beat the Snow Skaters. A very solid run. All of them getting 5 or higher, and that one finisher will give them a 29, which beats the Snow Skaters by 9 points, which is pretty much the entire beam's worth. Now we'll see what the Blade Masters can do. A tough job to follow that up and try to best the Mach 5 score, but we'll see how they do. It looks like they're staying pretty tight in that funnel. It's a very different launch mechanism compared to normal bouncing. Oh, and one of them gets very fast down the beam, I should say. And we're seeing how this different launch can really give the marbles differing speeds when they come down, and you can see how their third and fourth marbles came down a lot faster, but that made it a lot harder for them to control, and that will hurt them. A 19 will not even be enough to beat the Snow Skaters. But now we move on to the Lucky Clovers, the first green team here, and we'll see if they have luck on their side with this event. It looks like they're sort of going for a 2-2 split here with their first 2 members and their second 2, and it looks like, ooh, they're splitting down the middle here, and that is a very poor performance for the Lucky Clovers. It seems like they're trying to go for some strategy where the first 2 go down, and then the second 2 perhaps just trying to test the waters here, but it did not work out. No one getting past 4, and a 12 is a very bad run for the Lucky Clovers. Now we'll move on to the Malware Monsters, these extremely purple marbles, not something we're quite used to seeing in QMC, but in QxQ they are here, and we'll see how they fare here. It looks like their 4th marble trailing a little bit, but they're getting 3 marbles, very slow down to the end, not quite able to get a finisher, but that was still a very impressive run for the Malware Monsters. That will, I'm pretty sure, take 2nd place. I don't think it will challenge Mach 5. No, it will not. A 23 is a pretty comfortable 2nd place, though. So we've already seen several runs go down. They're getting close to that finisher bin. We've only seen 1 finisher so far. We'll see if Team Toucan can do that themselves. The only orange team in this lineup and in this very orange stadium here with the sunset. Perhaps they'll be able to perform here. Ooh, it doesn't look like it. No one getting past the 4, and that was not a good run from Team Toucan. It seems like they went for something of a 3-1 split. Not really, they got closer later, but in the meantime, a 3-3-3-4 will technically not be last place, but still not a good run for Team Toucan. But now the Brainstorms, as we're already nearing the halfway point, the only pink team in this roster, and we'll see how they fare here. And they are off through, and they split down the middle. One of them is getting close to the fissure. They won't quite be able to get it done. They will get an 8, though, and that 1-8 will, I believe, put them above the Lucky Clovers and Team Toucan, certainly. But I'm not sure it will be able to beat anyone else. No, it will not. An 18 with that 1-8 will just be enough to take 5th out of 7, but still not a great run for the Brainstorms. And so far, we've still seen Mach 5 stay on top. Now the Gold Doubloons, will they be able to live up to their namesake here? We shall see. It looks like they're staying pretty tight in that funnel there. The captain leading the way by a pretty decent margin, and they're getting pretty far down the beam. One of them, can they get in? Yes, they will. They slow to a crawl there at the very end, and we've seen how this balancing is very different from QMC balancing. It's very hard to keep your speed up, and that is one of the biggest obstacles. They just barely had enough speed to get it done, but a finisher will put them into 3rd place, surprisingly not even beating the Malware Monsters, who did not have a finisher. But at the halfway point, Mach 5, the Malware Monsters, and the Gold Doubloons are on the provisional podium. The Snow Skaters, unfortunately, will not be getting a medal in their first QxQ event. But now we'll see if we hit the second half with the Phantom Flames. Let's see how they fare here as they're coming through this funnel, staying pretty spread out, at least their 4th marble is, compared to some of the previous teams. And they are off. They get 1 marble around the 6th, but that's about all they have to show for it. That was not a particularly great run. Once again, I don't think this is going to be a terrible run, but it'll probably be similar to the Brainstorms. Yes, a 17 will be 7th out of the 9, so not bad, but still not great. No one getting past the 6. And now we'll see how the Overdrives do. Of course, this isn't a speed event. It's hard to say if that skill set will really translate, but we shall see. They're keeping it very tight in that funnel there. We'll see how that strategy works out for them. And they launched 1 way past all the others, but no one else getting past the 4 even, I don't think, and one of them getting launched pretty much outside the bin. And let's see what happened there with their second and third marble. Oh, it looks like their third had a sort of a ricochet with their teammate, but that'll only be 9th place at 12. A very unique strategy, but it will not pay off. But now we move on to the ferrofluids. Let's see how they can compare. It looks like they're staying decently spread out in the funnel after seeing what happened to the overdrives, trying to stay conservative with it, and they still have 3 marbles on the board. One of them gets into the finisher bin, one of them came just shy. We still haven't seen a single team get 2 finishers yet. The ferrofluids came so close, but could this challenge for the lead? No, it will not. A 26 will take 2nd place, though. The ferrofluids in position to take a medal, and that 1 marble just barely making it in. That 2nd marble, it still wouldn't have been enough to take the lead, but of course they were probably kicking themselves that they couldn't be a 2nd finisher. But now the Order of Aura, let's see how they will compare here. And we are off. They lose several to the near side. One of them gets to the 7. I think that'll be toward the mid-pack, maybe upper mid-pack. Not a bad run, but still not great. No one getting to the 8 or a finisher. And at 18, we'll be 8th out of the 12. I stand corrected. That won't even be the upper mid-pack. But now we'll see how the next team does the Luna Moths. As we're getting down to the last quarter of this event, only 4 teams remain. And we've already seen several brand new teams competing here, but currently it is a brand new team on top. It's actually a brand new provisional podium. And the Luna Moths launch one. They also have one get into the finisher. That was a very strange run from the Luna Moths. It seems like they used a similar strategy to the overdrives where one dropped off to launch their teammate, and they did a lot better. A 22 will be just shy of the provisional podium. Now we move on to the Ash Flowers here. With only 3 runs to go, the pressure is starting to mount for these later teams. They know what they have to stack up to, and the Ash Flowers trying to stay a little bit spread out, but they're bunching up later in that funnel, and they lose a couple to the near side, actually 3 to the near side. One of them went to the far, their captain, and I don't think that's going to be a good run. The Ash Flowers did not get anyone, I believe, past the 5. No, they got a 5, 4, 3, and 3, and that'll be 11th out of 14. That is 15. We've seen the scores are very, very tight in the lower mid-pack there. But now we move on to the Frostbites, the last new team here. We'll see how they fare in the penultimate run. There's not a lot of chances left for the podium to change. Mach 5 already looking good. As we come down here, they lose a couple to the near side. 2 of them are still going, but they both fall off around the 7. And that could have been a great run, but they missed out on pretty much 6 points by not getting 2 finishers there. And a 21 will still be enough for 6th place. A respectable performance for the Frostbites, but what could have been for them if they'd just been a little bit more consistent. But now we move on to the Maze Runners from the Quadrilla Marble League. We'll see if their skills there can compare here. And we are off. One of the most, probably the best team here in terms of their past performances. We'll see how they fare. They lose 1 to the near side, 3 to the near side, actually. One of them went to the far. I don't think it's going to be a great run for the Maze Runners. A bit surprising considering their past, but we'll see how this shakes up. An 18 will be 11th place, so still not a terrible performance, but not what we're used to seeing from them. But of course that means that Mach 5 will be taking the gold in the first ever event, the Ferrofluids take the silver, and the Malware Monsters take the bronze. All new teams, of course with only 2 older teams, it's not too surprising. The Snow Skaters picking up a respectable 7th, but here is your podium. Something seems almost familiar about these marbles standing on top of this podium in a Quadrilla event, but we shall see. With 1 event done of the 8, Mach 5 will be starting with the valuable 25 points. The Lucky Clovers, unfortunately, not getting lucky in this event, starting in dead last, but anything can change as we head to the next event, which will be the Quadrilla race, so stay tuned, and thank you for watching.